I want to talk about this as a beautiful role for you, and more importantly, you seem very comfortable in this role in a lot of ways, especially with the animals. And I know you were always around animals for very early period of your life. Did this role kind of feel like coming home a little bit?
Yeah, we had goats. And I mean, I grew up in a rural community, friends who had dairy farms, and certainly, my best friend Marie had a horse and we would ride all the time. So I am comfortable around animals, but I think, horses, particularly these race horses, are a different thing. They are bred to race. They have a very intense energy, and some of them can be, a bit bitey, a bit, they're ready to go all the time. So these are not horses that, I would never be allowed to get on one of these horses. The woman that I did research with, who is a trainer who works out at the track where we were shooting, she would never get on one of these horses. That it's only the jockeys get on these horses. And a lot of my job ends up being just around making myself comfortable, finding ways to make myself comfortable in any given situation.
Speaking of that comfort, I think, your characters, despite what other personality traits may be within them, always seem to have a very clear center. And perhaps that's a testament to you as an actor, but they're very grounded, or they're in search of what grounds them. Ruth in this film, I think, is a perfect example of that. And you seem, just from interviews, obviously we've never met, but you seem like a very centered individual as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, this kind of Zen-like piece that you get, was it part of your ballet training? Was it just who you are? Was it your upbringing in Canada? Like, what do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I studied ballet. I think that sort of gives you a kind of just physicality that, it's very controlled. Ballet you aim to be poised. So that probably did something. And I think partly also because I'm really an introvert, I'm sort of a hermit. I would be happy staying home alone almost all the time. I love to work. I love being at work and around lots of people. I hate parties. I'm not I'm not good with more than 6 people at a time. So maybe that's part of it, just needing to be kind of,
The balance that you have found from your upbringing, for being Canadian and having mainstream Hollywood success, I think is a tribute to you. And I want to say, as a Canadian film fan, television fan, having seen some of your very early work, I love that you still do that. And I really appreciate that, because, Canada, very often we will lose stars, we will lose talent to the big Hollywood system. You even filmed your directorial debut, Bird, in Toronto as well.
I did, yeah.
But in the future, do you see yourself being a leader in Canadian film and television once again?
Geez, I don't know. I feel in a way like I haven't really left it. So I do live in the States, but I've been working in Canada throughout all my years here. I early on sort of had, I think what was really just fear. I didn't want to come to LA. I didn't want to do what everyone else I knew had done and sort of get on the bus and come down here and do pilot season and throw myself into that machine. It really was independent film that made me excited. And I think if it weren't for that, I probably wouldn't have continued acting, because that was really where I found the place that really fed that creativity for me. I love Canada, and I've been spending a lot of time in Vancouver again. In a way, I thought I would never live there again, but I don't know anymore. It's great. It's a great, it's been a great place to be over these COVID times.
Just touching on that independent nature, especially of this film, was Jockey very much that same energy that you had just talked about?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to speak about that a little bit?
Certainly Jockey is sort of so outside of a Hollywood system, even more so than many of the Canadian things we do these days. So this was a film that was sort of intentionally very small. The crew was about 10 people. We shot on a working track. So we were really kind of embedded in this community. I mean, I did my own hair and makeup. I bought my own costumes. It was one of those kind of films. I haven't done anything like that to that degree, sort of that indie in a long time. And it just reminded me why I love doing this, you know. It really made me remember how much I love acting when you can kind of get it into that kind of a context and have it work.
And it transfers beautifully, I think, in your performance and Clifton's as well. It really seems like a passion project. So,
yeah.
Well, Molly, thank you so much. Great chatting with you.
Happy you too, holidays. Michael. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.